Jason Reynolds had always been a man of routine. He woke up at 6, hit the gym, and arrived at his law office by 8 sharp. He was methodical, calculating, both in the courtroom and in his personal life. But his biggest mistake wasn't an error in judgment at work. It was thinking he could cheat on his wife, Amanda, without consequences. Amanda was beautiful, intelligent, and utterly devoted to Jason. They had built a seemingly perfect life together. Sprawling suburban home, weekend getaways, and a social circle that envied their relationship. But Jason had a taste for the forbidden, and when he met Rebecca Carmichael, temptation proved too strong. Rebecca was everything Amanda wasn't, young, reckless, and unpredictable. She brought chaos into Jason's meticulously ordered world, and for a while he loved it. The thrill of sneaking around, the stolen moments, the danger, it was intoxicating. Then the texts started. At first they were harmless enough, unmarked numbers sending cryptic messages. "I know what you did. How long do you think you can keep this up?" Jason dismissed them as spam or some prank, but then the messages became more specific. "Rebecca looks beautiful tonight in that red dress. Too bad Amanda doesn't know where you are." His heart pounded. He scanned the restaurant, searching for anyone who might be watching him and Rebecca. No one stood out, no strange faces, but someone was out there. He considered confessing to Amanda, but the risk was too high. If she found out, he could lose everything: his marriage, his reputation, his career. Then Rebecca vanished. One moment she was sending him playful texts about meeting up later. The next, silence. Her phone went straight to voicemail. She didn't show up for work. No one had seen her. Jason was panicked but forced himself to act normal. Maybe she had just left town, decided she'd had enough. Maybe she had met someone new. He convinced himself it was over. Until the package arrived at his doorstep. A plain brown box, no return address. He opened it with trembling hands. Inside was Rebecca's phone. The screen was cracked, the edges stained with something dark. Beside it, a note written in jagged letters. "You thought this was a game? Now it's your turn to play." Jason's breath caught in his throat. He ran inside, locked the door, and checked every window. His paranoia spiraled. Who was doing this? Had Amanda found out? Or was this something much worse? That night, as he lay in bed beside his wife, staring at the ceiling, his phone buzzed one more time. A picture, Rebecca, tied to a chair, eyes wide with terror, and the message beneath it chilled him to the bone. "You cheated. Now it's time to pay." Jason barely slept. The next morning, he called Rebecca's number again, but it was still disconnected. His heart raced as he headed to his office, where he found another envelope waiting on his desk. There was no name, no return address, just his name, written in shaky ink. He hesitated before opening it, his fingers trembling. Inside was a single Polaroid picture. It was Rebecca, her face bruised, her mouth gagged. And behind her a figure loomed, their face obscured by shadows. A single word was scrawled in red ink across the bottom: "Confess." Jason felt his stomach lurch. His mind raced through the possibilities. Who could have done this? Was it Amanda? A jealous lover of Rebecca's? Someone else entirely? He needed to act. He couldn't go to the police. Not yet. He had to find out who was behind this. But as he looked up from the picture, his blood turned to ice. Across the street, standing beneath a lamppost, was a figure in a dark hoodie watching him. Jason grabbed his phone and dialed the only number that made sense. "Amanda," he said when she picked up. "We need to talk." Amanda met him at a quiet cafe on the outskirts of town. She arrived calm, her expression unreadable, stirring her tea as Jason fumbled with his words. "Something's wrong," he finally said. "Rebecca is missing, and I think someone's watching me." Amanda set her cup down and leaned in. "Who would be watching you, Jason?" He hesitated. Her tone was too measured. I don't know, but I got a package, Rebecca's phone, a picture of her tied up, a note that said 'Confess.'" Amanda tilted her head. And what do you think they want you to confess? Jason swallowed hard. Was this a trap? Did she know? I don't know, he lied. Amanda exhaled and stood up. You should go to the police. Jason grabbed her wrist. I can't. Not yet. For the first time, something flickered in her expression. Amusement? Disappointment? He couldn't tell. That night, Jason barely slept. Every creak in the house made him jump. He checked the locks 3 times before finally collapsing onto the couch with a drink in hand. His phone buzzed again. Another picture. This time, it wasn't just Rebecca. It was his house, his living room. The photo had been taken from outside the window,